Hi, welcome to our podcast. You look lovely today.
Thank you, Bun.
You're welcome. A podcast where we connect and you listen. If you're watching on YouTube, feel free to join the conversation in the comments below. Today's topic is just friends. Can girls and guys be just friends? We have a little bit of history on this because we were best friends for a long time and now we are getting engaged. So I want to have a little conversation about whether or not guys and girls can truly be just friends.
But what's your opinion?
My
Do you
opinion
think-
is they can
Uh-huh.
because we really were. You dated people, I dated people, and I supported your relationships. You supported mine, and we really wanted the best for each other as
Mhm.
friends.
Mhm.
I think now that we're older and maybe I was ready to settle down, the things that I looked for in a partner changed, and yeah, and then what I was looking for in a partner was you. So yeah, so I think people change. What people want change, and
Over time,
yes,
through course of experience and whatever they facing through each phase of their lives.
yes, yeah, exactly, and yeah, so um,
I
yeah,
agree.
yeah.
I agree that they can be friends, but there just need to be a certain, not rule, but boundaries set
Mhm.
in place.
Yeah.
But okay,
With all
let's-
friends. I mean, not just guys and girls.
That's
And
true.
boundaries
That's
with
true.
other
Yeah,
work
that's true.
friends, stuff like that. So, okay, so I'm gonna read a couple articles from Reddit, some "Am I the Assholes" on this episode, and we'll get your input. Okay, so the first story we have today is one from Reddit user Odd Implement, and it's from 6 days ago, so quite fresh. Am I the asshole for going to a restaurant alone with my best friend despite him having a girlfriend? I, 18 female, have been friends with Eric, 18 male, since we were 13. We've never dated or had feelings with each other. We've only ever been friends. Around 2 weeks ago, I got accepted into the third best law program in my country. Needless to say, I was incredibly happy to find this out, and Eric was the first person I called. He congratulated me and said he'd take me out to dinner to celebrate. Eric is a huge foodie, and he's been wanting to go to this really cool cinema restaurant for a while. The one where they give you food that relates to the movie you're watching.
Ooh.
Yeah, that sounds fun. So I was super excited to go. After we watched the movie and ate, we asked the waiting staff to take a picture of us together. We posed in a way where Eric put his arm around my shoulder, and the two of us pointed at the acceptance letter together. I posted that picture on my feed and a few days ago to celebrate the end of the enrollment process. Like 30 minutes after I posted that picture, Eric's girlfriend, Mia, 18 female, reached out to me asking to delete the picture because it gives off the wrong idea. I asked her what she meant by that, and she said that we look too much like a couple and that it makes her uncomfortable. She then said it was inappropriate of us to go to a restaurant together without her, and she felt hurt that I'd do something like this to go to another girl. She then told me that her friends also think that there might be something going on between the two of us, and asked me to be honest with her about it. She said she needs to be sure because it's not normal for us to be as close as we are, and she wants to make sure there's never been anything romantic or sexual between us in the past that would give Eric an incentive to cheat. I told Mia that Eric would never cheat on her and that I had no interest in him, especially since I like women. She told me that it's still inappropriate and that Eric and I were friends and I think we're secretly hooking up, so posting that picture is an equivalent to a confirmation. Honestly, I don't see the big deal, but I've never been in a relationship, so maybe it was inappropriate. Am I the asshole for going to a restaurant with Eric and posting a picture of us together? So this is something that I feel I think we are familiar with because for the longest time we always got questions from our friends saying, you guys must have something going on. I always had uh, issues with partners before where they thought that there was something going on between us. Yeah, and then yeah, so Am I the asshole for going to a restaurant with Eric and posting pictures of us together? No. I mean, off of that, just that tidbit off of us just going together. No. Do you have to be aware of the optics and maybe like be considerate of the partner's feelings? 100%. So would it have been okay if he didn't put his arm around her? Probably better, but I don't think that's a deal breaker. But I feel like there should have been an offer to invite the girlfriend, at least so she felt in the loop. I think that would have been a lot safer. But I think she doesn't like the optics of her friends or other people seeing them, and she's probably getting a lot of texts, and maybe it's embarrassing for her to get a lot of messages from her friends being like, whoa, what's
maybe
going on?
Maybe she start to question.
Yeah, I can see that. But at the same time, I don't know if this girl came out publicly to people, but she says that the girlfriend knows that she likes girls. So
I think that, of course, I don't think she's an asshole to go to the dinner as, like this dinner together, because I mean, come on, like friends can go out and having dinner, lunch, whatever you guys want to hang out in, whatever social setting you want to go. Maybe I don't think that him posting himself by like put his arms around her is a red flag, because it feels like it does maybe a love language towards a friend. I think it's fine. I think because it feels like many people sometimes they're just like taking photos, like group pictures, and then you just put shoulder on another one without like just the sake of like, it's just very organic thing that when you're taking pictures, I don't think there's any harm in that. But I honestly feels like when it's very complicated, when we were friends as well, that I feels like the girlfriend can be sometimes like questioning because like, oh, why you have like your best friend is a girl, and I think that sometimes maybe she can feel not insecure, because especially if she doesn't know the person. I think that if the girlfriends have been more connected with the friend and they hang out more, maybe they know their intention more. I don't think that, okay, first of all, we don't have much context, like what is their social setup or how do they connect from like like how they connect or if they ever hanging out frequently. So maybe that's why she's like, oh, a bit insecure. But because I feel that if you already are aware that she interested in girls over boys, I already crossed that out. Okay, this person I don't need to be worried about. But I think just maybe sometimes like you are fine with that, but then when other people like external factors, like start to putting input, so you a bit more like you having a doubts and like, oh wait, and you start thinking about it. So I think you just need to be firm. But I don't necessarily think that they need to invite a girlfriend to that dinner, because I think that sometimes you also want to have your own time with your friend just to talk about different stuff, or maybe just to talk about the relationship. I mean, it's fine to have that, but maybe I think that maybe Eric need to be a better bridge to connect them together. Yeah, because maybe they are not close enough, or I think that sometimes like this can happen if like because the middle person or the connector between these two is the boyfriend. So I think the boyfriend need to do a bit of work to try to solve it out or make her sure as well that, hey, like that's really nothing, but if she is, it's very hard position, so I don't think that it's for everyone. If she cannot be that understanding, maybe it's not right for them.
I agree. I think it's also they're 18 and
yeah
I don't want to say they're immature, but I mean, I think when you're 18 you're still like, I think the brain is still developing. So, and I think I don't know, I think as you get older, things that seem huge become smaller as you get older. I just feel like, I don't know if it's a maturity level or just the fact that
I feel like when you're 18 that's
your whole life.
Yeah, you don't have like work yet to be worried about or stress other things that matters more.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I think in general, I think the takeaway from this one is that when your best friend is the opposite gender, you have to be aware that other people might not be comfortable with that, and you should be empathetic to that, whether it's right or wrong. So, like I always say this, we would always sit together, right, as best friends, just because I'm comfortable, and like, if I'm gonna go to a dinner party or something like that, like I just want to talk to you, mostly. So it just makes sense to sit next to you. Not like a romantic way or like that. I want to be
Like your
like,
comfort zone.
yeah, but I mean, like why wouldn't you want to sit next to the person that you want to talk to? Just the same thing. Like if we had class together, I'm sure I would have chose to sit next to you too. But it's like that. But you have to understand, like, if the girlfriend is there or something, you're obviously gonna give the priority
Priority.
to like let her sit next to the significant other.
Totally.
So it's just like that. And I think, I don't know, maybe she didn't even know about the dinner and she was like caught off guard by seeing a picture on the
Yeah, I mean, at least
Instagram.
she should be notified
Mm-hmm.
beforehand, not
Right.
asking for permission,
Mm-hmm.
but at least, hey, just FYI, I'm having dinner with da, 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 because she got like this, acceptance. Just that,
Right.
yeah, they just want to hang out. Yeah.
I think it would be something, a conversation that she might need to clarify the boundaries or whatever with her boyfriend. I mean, Eric and her girlfriend. But to call the poster and be like, take this picture down.
Yeah, I
That's a little
don't
bit.
think I was a bit like caught off guard by that. I was
Yeah.
like, it's their internal affairs, I
Right.
would say, like internal like arrangement, not
Mhm.
arrangement, but they should be discussed like
Mhm.
within the house rather than like ask the third person to be
Meaning between the boyfriend and girlfriend.
chai.
Yeah.
That's what I'm sorry.
No, no.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I think. I'm
Right.
like,
I think so
it's
too.
more your relationship, so you should sort it out in like within you guys, and then let the Eric talk to the friend and like, hey, can you please,
Right.
whatever it is. But I think it's a bit overstep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If she
Have we ever had
contact, yeah, that one.
an issue like that? I mean, I definitely had. I don't. Yeah. So I don't think I even like talked to you about it, but there would be things like where my partner at the time would be like, "Oh, you're spending like too much time, with Pacha," and then, "Oh, I'm Justin and and or something like that." And I wouldn't bring it up to you, but I would just be like, "Okay, I'm gonna." But maybe it's something important that I should have brought up to you anyways, because I don't want you to feel like I'm just like disappearing. Right?
Yeah, but it's also quite difficult because I don't think that all friends are that understanding.
Right.
I
Yeah.
think within our case, we're very, very. There's nothing between us. We
Mhm.
just like look at each other back, and then just at best interest for a friendship.
Right.
So I always understanding that, hey, maybe I think that I also put myself in a different position, that it's you and your significant other,
Mhm.
not you and me, or like
Mhm.
it's not our friendship team anymore. It's another like step for you, or it's just like a different, like, let's say circle, but different spectrum. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I think it's also
I think you just need to learn your place.
yeah.
Not in a bad way.
It sounds
but
mean, but it's the truth.
yeah, but it's the truth. Yeah. But
Yeah.
I mean, that's how but how it works,
Yeah.
like you're not the girlfriend. I mean, when a relationship develop, I mean, of course, like role of friendship it's in a different area.
I think it's difficult because, for example, I think they were friends for since they were 13, like 5 years, and like they grew up and developed together. So that's a quite a tight bond that you share. And I think it's difficult. The dynamic is difficult because when you have a significant other, they should be that like most inner circle, and so the girlfriend wants to be like the closest part to the boyfriend, but at the same time, the boyfriend has this very strong bond and closeness with someone else that is very difficult to wrap their head around. I think like sometimes, or not sometimes, but I think usually the significant other wants to be like the most significant.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Do you think you have an issue with me sometimes that I also have a lot of like guy friends, but like not like best friend is like not guy friends. You know,
Mhm.
like my cousin is like one of like my best guy friends.
Yeah, I think he'll be the
Yeah,
first person to come to mind.
yeah. But I don't think that I don't have any. I mean, I have a lot of guys friends. So do you think that even though like it's also make you feel a bit insecure?
Insecure, that's a good word.
Is it though, or
I think let me try to think if there are issues. So when we were just friends, obviously not, So I think it was great. It was really nice. Like we were really good. I would say we were the best of best friends because I mean, yes, I know sometimes friends, even when they're not romantically involved, like girl circles. I think I've heard some of you sometimes talk about this with your friends. They have issues where like they get the boyfriend and they disappear and they're like, oh, this girl never hangs out with us anymore,
Yeah.
and they get mad. So it's not always like a romantic issue. It's like sometimes it's just kind of like people get hurt. I think when they're like when they feel like the other person's
deprioritize?
yeah, deprioritize. Yeah, that's exactly. And then, but luckily you were never like that. And I always felt like when you had a boyfriend or you were talking with someone, I didn't feel deprioritized, but I also felt like I don't want to make things difficult for you. So like it was not a big deal for me, but I guess I don't know. I think we're lucky. So yeah. Okay, did I answer your question?
No.
Oh, your question was have I ever had issue? Yeah. So I mean, I'm sure I felt jealous of guys. Okay, I know you're gonna not that you're not gonna like this, but I say this a lot. It's like it's not that I'm jealous, I'm protective. So sometimes
Okay.
I feel like
Wait, you mean protected when we were friends, right? Not now.
no. Oh, yeah, protective when you're friends too.
I
Yeah, I
think
was definitely not jealous when we're friends, but I mean,
uh-huh.
like what you're saying now about being insecure.
Yeah.
Like, are you talking about like now that we're together or back then as friends?
I think now.
Okay,
I'm
now,
referring
yeah.
to
So
now.
I think sometimes I felt like, you know, not that I was ever insecure that you're gonna cheat, but then sometimes like, oh, is this guy's intention? He's like a little bit flirty and something like that. And it was more like I'm being protective because I feel like sometimes you're very
I'm very
like
naive.
not naive, but you're very positive and you see the best in people. You don't want to see like, oh, they're being like, you know, you don't read the like subcontext of like maybe this person is trying to get close to me because, like for example, you had like a guy friend that would send you like these songs, like, and I'm like, well, that's like the high school way of like subliminally sending like the message of like, hey, I like you, so I'm gonna send you these songs.
But I never really listened to the meaning of the song.
Yeah,
I'm just like, ooh, it's a nice rhythm, the flow, and yeah, I have different interest.
But was I like really jealous? Like not really, really jealous, but I was just kind of like, like, hey, dude, keep a heads up, don't be silly.
I think when we start dating, not just only when we start dating, but throughout my whole life, since we know each other, I always tell you everything's about my life. Like, oh yeah, at this company, like I found new friends, this. So I think about everyone. So I think that for us, communication's always open. Even like when we're just friends, or when we become a couples, I think we're always, or at least I tell you everything. I'm not saying that you are too, but I mean like because we're in a companies, right? And I have lots of like colleagues, so I always giving you all the teas, so you always know what's happening.
Yeah, I think so I think it's also different because for you making friends, I mean you're more extroverted than me. I'm quite introverted. So when I make friends, I don't really make friends that are like meaningless. So like when I have friends or I start bringing people into my life, it's like, there is at least a connection, like not a romantic connection, but sometimes if I like, it's not as simple as just kind of like, oh, I see them every day. So like where I feel like with you sometimes it's we work together, so why don't we go and have lunch together, or why don't we go to a restaurant together, where I feel like, just because I work with people or like I see them very often, I was like, I don't want to hang out. But so yeah, so I think that's also a difference. Have I answered your question yet? I think so,
Yeah,
right?
you did.
I think way back, but yeah, okay. So all in all, if you're gonna be if you're best friends with the opposite gender, or I mean, if you're in a relationship, or yeah, okay, if your partner is worried about your platonic friendship with your friend that might be of the opposite gender or something like that, then I think it's okay. It's valid for the partner to not be super comfortable with it, right? I think that's valid. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the friend group should be empathetic to those feelings,
Yep.
but I think the partner also should be empathetic to the, or be responsive that these friends came before them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's that's a bond that they've had, so they have to also understand that your partner is close with someone,
Mm-hmm.
and that should also be respected. I think it's really bad when partners try to break up friends that have been together because, like, I don't like, or this person is threatening my relationship, unless that person is like really bad, is like a bad person, like selling you heroin or something, then yeah, okay. But yeah, so I think the takeaway is that both people, I mean, friendships are difficult when romance is not involved. So yeah, with romance involved, you have to be extra accommodating and understanding to each other. Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Okay, the next one. Okay. All right. So the next one is by QT Kex. QT Kex. This is from 2 years ago. It's a little bit long, but I wanted to find topics for are related to what we're talking about, and some of them are a little bit old, but I feel like this is a topic old this time. So, am I the asshole for refusing to hang out with my best friend when her guy best friend is around? Okay, so a little backstory. My friend and I have known each other for 10 years and have been best friends for 10 years. And she has always been there for me. We are complete opposites. While she is a social butterfly and loves to be around all kinds of people, I am so awkward to the point I become really nervous, and I just look for the way to remove myself from the situations as polite as possible. It's a me problem, not other people, I know that much. Now, she has this guy friend who was 27 and I was 14. Whoa. Wait, so the guy's 20? Okay. Now, she has this guy friend who was 27 and I was 14 when I met him, and he always joked with the question, do I want to be his girlfriend? He always says it was a joke as soon as he saw me getting uncomfortable, and my best friend always backed him up, so I just let it go. But that was the time I kind of wanted to keep my distance. Again, I think it was my problem. So I would start to make dumb excuses to not hang out when he was around, which got me and my best friend in arguments more than I would like. He then moved to Germany and I became more social. Even when I didn't want to come out of my room, I forced myself to just not get us in arguments again. Oh, I forced myself to socialize so I don't
Mm-hmm.
get into arguments again. I didn't want to lose her. So 6 years have passed and now I'm 20 and he is 33, and he came back to Croatia. And while I got halfway to the cafe where I was supposed to meet my best friend, she called and said that he was there too. I was a little bit nervous, but I decided that I should force myself to be next to them both for her sake. And so I went. Not even 10 minutes from me coming, he started making me uncomfortable by saying how much did my body develop from the last time he saw me when I was 14. Few minutes go by and we start to talk about needless glasses. When I leaned over to read something, oh, I say needless glasses. When I leaned over to read something, this is when he leaned over and looked inside my shirt, which I got right back, and I felt like it was my fault that I wore that kind of shirt.
No.
But now the more I think about it, I don't think it was my fault. My best friend did say they will talk to him about it when they get home, and I believe she did, but all he said was a half-assed sorry and continued with his questions and statements that he clearly saw me become uncomfortable about. I don't want to hang out near him anymore, and I told my best friend, but she told me I am overreacting and that he apologized. But the fact is, I forced myself to go out and meet new people, no matter how nervous I became or how I felt like my heart was beating 10 times faster because of that. And all that I can feel is that I made a 360 degree turn. I think that I made a 360. Now I'm back to being a more nervous and awkward idiot around people because of him. I love hanging out with my best friend, and I told her we can hang out when he is not around, but she says that I'm making her decide between two best friends. I just feel so awkward around him and I can't do it. So, am I the asshole for making her choose or refusing to hang out with her when her guy best friend is around?
No, you're not.
Yeah.
He is an asshole.
Yeah, that is.
It's so
bad.
weird for a 27-year-old guy would hang out with a 14-year-old girl.
So about 10 years. Yeah.
It's a lot of, I don't know. I mean, when you think about like at the present day, like 33 and 20, it's not as bad, but a 14, it's a teenager.
Yeah, wait. So, okay, first of all, when I picked up this story, I thought it was the like two best friends, two girls. Like she didn't want to hang out with her friend when the boyfriend was around. But now this is a different story, but I still think it's a good story. So
it is a good story, but I'm so surprised how she is very reflected towards herself.
Yeah.
She always keep repeating in her story that no, it's more towards me, and I think she's do a lot of like self-reflect, and she's aware that she's very, very introvert. So she thinks that she tried to fix herself, and not fix the others. So I don't think, of course, you're not an asshole, like for sure. The guy is like, come on, this comment towards a 14-year-old, and I mean,
I mean, even now she's 20, but still,
it's still like
yeah.
it's like sexual harassment. Like all of this comments, it's just weird. I think that, but I don't get it. Why her friends cannot just like hang out with both of them separately?
I think it's weird. Yeah, I'm kind of curious about what is the dynamic with her friend and this guy, because if
add it together,
no, not. I mean, that's what it says. It's not, but I mean, it seems like he might be like grooming her. Like because if he was 27 talking to a 14-year-old,
grooming her to be what?
Like like a lot. So grooming is means like when older guys or older predators will develop friendships with underage people, and then so kind of like
wait
prep them
until
maybe sometimes they don't wait until they're of age. Sometimes, for example, this, I hope I don't offend anyone, but I think this is a very common example of like maybe someone in the church or something like that will.
Let's not talk about that.
Okay. So let's just say if a counselor or like an adult talk to an adult talk to like a student at the school and develop like a really closeness with like the younger person trusts the adult. And then that older person actually is kind of like saying like, oh, well, you're so mature for your age, and like you're not like other kids, and like I really want to like take care of you, or like I want to, I don't know, like take you to dinner. And then the other person's like, oh, okay, like I like this adult is really nice and sees potential in me and wants to like mentor me, like great. And then it's like, oh, well, he wants me to like go on a trip with him, or like he wants me to like, and it's like, oh, so. This feels kind of strange that this 27, because when I'm 27, I don't want to hang out with 14-year-olds.
Such a big red flag.
Yeah, that's a huge red flag. Okay. So, and I think that...
I hope they're all safe.
Right. I mean, yeah, definitely. And then I think that the fact... Okay, let's take the creepiness out of it. Like, if he wasn't... So the question was, okay, I mean, I'm not going to avoid all the other stuff, but the question was, am I an asshole for making her choose or refuse to hang out with her when her guy best friend around? So imagine if the guy best friend was the same age, just is annoying. Let's just say like he's annoying and doesn't want to hang out with him. Am I the asshole for that? No, I think
no, I don't think so. Too.
But I think also like relationships develop. What you look for in your friends change. Who you are change. So
like you grow apart.
Right. I mean, like when I was growing up, I had a group of friends, and by group it was like 3 people, And then
Wow, big group of friends.
and we were just like little skater kids, and then
Cool.
yeah, skater boy. And then
With a friendship ring.
yeah, no, what? And then but then as we got older, certain people started to party more hard,
Yeah.
and like I'm not a big partier, so it wasn't like I refused to hang out with you if you're your party friends, but I just kind of like bowed out, so like, hey, I'm going to go to this party, and I'm just like, oh, I'll skate with you, and then we'll go, and then I'll just leave, or I won't go at all. And I think it just kind of like I let it flow into the next one. I wasn't kind of like, dude, you always choose to hang out with these,
I think you're at the
you know.
age to make your own decisions, and like,
Yeah.
hey, like what you like and what you don't want to pretend,
Right.
or whatever. But I think that for her, I think that, I mean, but she have a good reasons why she doesn't want to hang out with a guy,
Yeah.
and it doesn't. But she did also make an effort to hang out and give this a chance of like, okay, because of I love my friend so much, so and this has basically become like her new friend, so I want to make an effort, but she tried, and I mean, at the end, if it give her more anxiety, then you need to choose yourself over this, and I think that your friend should know you, and then she should understand that how difficult it is for you to facing these situations, and also try to open up. And if it's turned out that she felt this way, and if she still think that you are ridiculous, I don't think that you should hang out with her anymore.
Yeah, I like that what you said, that you have to choose yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true. Like,
it's not coming out of like jealous that, oh, you have new friend and you like abandon me. It's not. But he made these weird comments. Yeah. No.
I mean, part of me feels like she wanted the friend to like protect her more, not protect her more, but like kind of like, why are you putting me in this uncomfortable situation?
Yeah.
But at the same time, like you said, I like that a lot. You have to save yourself.
Yeah.
That's good.
And I mean, like, reading through this, he sounds bad. Like,
I'm getting red flags for sure.
Flag.
I was honestly, it was when I was reading it, it wasn't very smooth, because in my head I was like, what? I was like, what is going on? I was like, this is so bad. I was like, what? And then and I was just like, I was like, what? I was like, this yeah, so I think that both of them should get out of this relationship for sure, or like, this doesn't seem like a good idea anyway.
I'm so curious, what is the reason that she wants to hang out with this guy? I mean, okay, I know from the fact that you mentioned maybe he's grooming her, but it sounds I
mean, that's a bad thing. But okay, so very quick off topic, can a 27-year-old and a 14-year-old, I mean, like, I have cousins that I will talk to and joke around with them and maybe send them memes or whatever on Instagram once in a while, but I mean, no, I don't know. I don't think
No, but it's a different joke, it's just like, it's different joke, but this is sexual harassment.
I mean, that was when she was, but actually before she was uncomfortable, right? When she was okay, right. But even if there's nothing uncomfortable, I don't think that a 27-year-old and a 14-year-old can be that close. Unless they're like siblings. Yeah, like family members, right? Because like I can't imagine like just texting some like school kid and be like, hey, you out of school yet? Or that's weird. 27? Oh wait.
Can we read some comments?
Yeah. So the first one, the highest rated one was, he says, not the asshole. It's not fair or reasonable of your friend to try to force you to spend time near someone you have made clear you are extremely uncomfortable around. Given the details of your side of things, this individual has the potential to be very dangerous and has already proven himself to not respect your boundaries or your autonomy.
Yeah.
If your friend cannot accept that you're unwilling to spend time around this individual, then she's the asshole. You're not the asshole, hands down. And the OP replied, the sad thing is, I think you might be right about that dangerous part, as my friend revealed to me that I am not the only girl he does those kinds of things to. but he knows me more than random girls on the streets and says it's fun because she's never had a boyfriend, which is true, never had one, didn't need one. And he says he does things like this to all his female friends and that they are okay with that kind of behavior. Now that is just what my friend said, so I'm not sure how true that is, but why would she have the need to lie? Just saying I didn't hear him say these things, so I can't say for sure. I don't know why her friend hangs out with this guy. He doesn't sound like a nice guy or a good person in general. And it sounds like when you say things like why are you getting upset? Like I do it to a lot of people and they don't care. That's like kind of gaslighting.
Very,
like,
very ignorant.
that sounds like you're
Even worst.
yeah. So
Yeah, fine. Like, just, do what you're doing. Just don't need. I mean, I'm a bit more worried about her friends.
okay. Here we have some more insight about their ages. So, okay, the next comment says, "Not the asshole. He sounds like a creep to me. A few things I want to point out. One, you have the right to wear whatever you like whenever you feel it's right for you. Two, when you go over the sexual harassment guidelines, it specifically states that giving uncomfortable comments regarding your body and repetitive dating suggestions fall under that classification. So you were correct about what you felt, and I don't think it's related to your anxiety, which probably just made it more uncomfortable for you. Third, your best friend can still be your best friend and hang out separately with her creepy guy too.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't see how you making her choose anything, since most of the people I know has more than one circle of friends. It seems to me that your friend wants you to accept his behavior and using the guilt and threat sword to make you comply. By the way, how is your friend? Is she the same age as you? If so, why did she hang around a guy that was twice her age when she was 14? And OP says, she's 2 years older than me, so she's 22 and was 16 then, still too young. It was her family friend at first, but something happened to make her father cut him out of his life back then. They are friends again. I'm not sure that is why she's hanging out with him now. She stayed in contact with him through mental institution. He was in a mental institution for drug-related problems, so maybe that's why they're so close. I mean, that's a big red flag. I mean, if he's your father's friend and your father is cutting him out of his life,
Yeah, that's gotta be something.
that's so weird. That's not a good sign. I mean, she's like saying like, oh, she's 2 years older, but that doesn't make any, like 16 and 27.
Oh, but
is
they
still
are
bad.
friends again.
Yeah, the dad and them. I don't know, but maybe he's just like, I don't know. I feel like if the dad knew what was going on, he wouldn't be friends. I mean, that makes more sense that he's a family friend, but even family, I mean, it makes it better slightly, but it's still not okay.
But
Like,
I don't see why she couldn't spot this, Like, because all these comments, of course, I don't know if the
who?
guy,
The poster or the friend?
the friend.
Yeah. Maybe it happens so
often that she's like, oh, he's just making a dirty joke.
yeah, like you grow up around it and then it gets worse so slowly that like you don't really realize it until and so it becomes normal behavior to you, so I'm feel like that. But and yeah, I mean, reading now that I'm thinking more about what the poster said, like the fact that she's introverted, the fact that she always seems to revert back to like kind of blaming herself of like, oh, I'm awkward, it was my problem. Yeah, I think that she, I mean, a poor thing. I feel like she blames herself for a lot of these things, and I'm sure that if this girl is her best friend, I can understand that maybe that's her only best friend. And so it's not like she can just like choose other people to hang out with. But good on her for, even though it may be her only best friend or something like that, but she's standing up for herself and being like, this is not okay, and I'm not gonna put myself in this situation.
Yeah.
She's not making the friend be like, I refuse to, like, you can't hang out with this guy, even though maybe she should do that. But she's being, she's taking care of herself first, which is smart, which is good. It shows a lot of maturity, I think. So, yeah. So different than the significant others stuff, but I think this is still about friendships. And I think, okay, so I think with this topic today about friends and guys and girls, can they just be friends? It's a kind of that kind of sexual boundary where I feel like when the difference between like just platonic friends pretty much and then more than that is that kind of like sexual aspect to it. And I feel like um it's all about boundaries, even with regular friends, but yeah, so like when you move into that realm of like when you add the what do you call the when you add the extra element that the person is the opposite gender or some whatever gender you prefer to like um is that's when it gets more complicated because you add that twist of like, okay, now let's sprinkle on sexual preferences and stuff like that. So yeah, but in this sense, yeah, I think the boundaries. I'm proud of her that she set these boundaries for herself
Yeah.
and recognize even at such a young age that this is not right. Yeah, good for her. Anything you want to say?
Hmm?
Anything you want to say?
No, I think that okay, maybe I add something.
Yeah, please.
I think that she did the right thing, to like you must love your friend so much that you give it a try. I think you push out of your comfort zone so much, and you put you push yourself out of your comfort zone, which also affects your emotions, your anxiety, like even worse. But it's good that you're pointed out, and don't ever think that it's your fault or am I an asshole in this case that I asked her to choose, because she also can hang out like with one of the commenter, that you can still hang out with both of them separately. If she cares about you as much as you care about her, she would make that happen. She would go it that way, like just maybe not in the same day or same time. It works. There always a way to make it work, I guess. But at the end, I think that you should also take care of yourself, yeah, and your own sake.
Yeah, danger, danger. That was weird. That's not good. Okay, great. Okay, so I think so far it's two not the assholes. This is one that people have. Actually, no, I don't want to say. Well, I guess I've already said, but let's just read it and see what you think. So the user is 208513211993112. Better user, nice name. This was from 5 months ago. It's would I be the asshole if I asked my best friend's girlfriend to give the two of us some alone time when we hang out? Okay. Okay. I, 20 female, and my best friend Zeke, 21 male, have known each other for about 5 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Zeke is dating his best friend since forever, Mary, and they've been together for about 3 years. Mary is an amazingly kind person, and I've always respected her, but she is constantly present whenever Zeke and I hang out.
Mm-hmm.
When we grab dinner together, while she doesn't join us, she asks that Zeke send her an update text every hour. We only hang out in person maybe 3 times a year, so having those few hours constantly disrupted bothers me. We'll just be talking about what shows we've been watching, and he has to pause the conversation to respond to her. He always apologizes and says Mary's anxious and she just wants to know how things are going, but it ruins the flow of our conversations. When I send Zeke a message, which also usually only happens once every few weeks, she sees that he's messaging me and then she also messages me. She sees that he's messaging me because she is always with him, constantly. She's such a loving person, but I know it wears a bit on Zeke since he's more introverted. I haven't said anything about it because it's their relationship, and while I suggested he just let her know, he sometimes needs space, but it's their business to sort out. Yeah. Mary and I are casual friends, but Zeke is my best friend. Frankly, if it weren't for Zeke, Mary and I probably wouldn't be in contact at all. Before anyone asks, yes, oh my God. Before anyone asks, yes, we liked each other when we first met. Awkward crushes and flirting, and because Zeke and Mary have always been friends, she heard about it initially, but nothing beyond crushing happened between us. I didn't even admit to myself that I'd had a slight crush on him until years later, and by then it was gone. What bothers me the most is A, I feel like she's insecure about doubting Zeke's loyalty, and he is an amazing, sweet dude who would literally do anything to make her feel loved. And B, I see Zeke rarely, so I hate that our time gets interrupted. So, would I be the asshole if I politely asked her not to interrupt when we hang out and or text? TLDR, my guy best friend's girlfriend interrupts every one of our okay, sorry. TLDR, my guy best friend's girlfriend interrupts every one of our rare conversations, and I'd like to ask her to stop.
What is TLDR?
Too long, didn't read. So it's kind of like a summary.
Oh, okay.
So some people, like, if they don't want to read the whole text, they'll read that last part. Okay, so before we look in the comments, let's get your reaction.
It's very complicated relationship, I have to say, between Zeke and Mary. I wouldn't reach out to Zeke. Oh, sorry. I wouldn't reach out to Mary. I would ask Zeke opinions and how does he feel about it, because he's a sweet person. He seems like he's a people pleaser, so to let him choose, I don't think it's about choosing, but I think also like he also need to set boundary with Mary, but I don't think that the girlfriend should be the one who reach out. It should be Zeke and Mary who sort it out together.
Oh, interesting. So you think that it's a boundary issue with Mary?
Yeah.
Mary is the girlfriend that's texting all the time?
Mary is the friend.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mary's a friend.
Mary is a friend.
No, wait. Would I be asked if I talked to Mary about it? Mary is the girlfriend, I think. Yeah, Mary's the girlfriend. I think the poster doesn't have a name.
Wait, sorry. So Mary's
So the boyfriend needs to talk to his friend or needs to talk to the girlfriend?
friend.
Yeah, okay.
So Mary is a friend.
No, Mary is the girlfriend. Mary's an amazing kind person. Mary is the girlfriend.
Wait, sorry, Mary and I. Oh, wait, sorry.
Yeah, Mary and I are casual friends. So the two girls are casual friends, but Mary is Zeke's girlfriend.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
God.
Shoot, I thought we're on the wrong page.
Oh my
I was
God,
like,
you need to cut it off. Okay, I'm
No,
sorry.
it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, what, really?
So the poster is the girlfriend.
The poster is the best friend.
Oh my God, my brain. Okay. Okay, let me tune in.
Okay, so I will. Wait, no, I want you to process this yourself. So,
I need 2 minutes.
okay, so I will.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
I wouldn't text Mary. I would talk to Zeke.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it's so hard. I would talk to Zeke how I feel, but I would tell him that. But I mean, I'm sorry, but the poster need to understand the situation.
Good.
know.
Okay, we are on the same page.
Yeah.
And
if it's really bother you, because I think I've been to that situation, but not like in the setup of Mary and Zeke for sure, But I think like I have my period of like, ooh, like, ooh, I'm being deprioritized or like blah blah blah. I have to say I think I was mad before, but I came to realization that this is what it has to be, because it's a relationship.
Yeah.
It's romantic relationship and we're friends. So I supposed to be the one who's supporting you, whatever you are going, So I think that's the way that it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, if you feel that it's really bothering you, you can talk to Zeke about it, but don't expect a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think that I would want to add it more on his plate.
And honestly, I think.
You think?
I think. Honestly, I think that the text is not. I mean, how disruptive is the text? Every once in a while. I mean,
No,
yeah, but they only meet once a year.
Yeah, but I mean, Zeke need to text Mary every hour. It can be annoying. I mean, that's what I say, that he texts.
No,
her.
yeah, but I mean, is it really annoying? Because I feel like I would text you like very often no matter what I'm doing.
Honestly, I mean,
I'm annoying.
No. When I'm going out, I try to text you, like once a while, like.
Yeah.
But I've never time. But I don't think that we're text. But it sounds like Mary is very anxiety person.
Oh, okay.
So maybe consistency and if something like goes wrong, it
Mm-hmm.
making more her upset. I
Mm-hmm.
think she's upset it more. So that's why she want to keep the momentum.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's nothing wrong with Mary and Zeke's relationship. I mean, some couples are very clingy, like contact all the time. Uh, you know, um, have the some couples will just leave when they're not together. They'll leave like the phone on, right? And then the other couple is just like on the phone, not in the
Yeah.
conversation, but just
What I'm worried is that I'm not sure like if it will last long for Zeke too. I mean, if he,
maybe in
it
3 years,
can,
I think, right?
yeah. I mean, it
Yeah,
can be also 5.
5 years. Oh
Oh
yeah,
no, they know each other for 5 years now.
but Zeke is dating the friends for
But
3
they're
years.
friends for forever. So I think he already know
Mhm.
her package.
Yeah.
That she have this package.
Yeah. I mean, um, I think it's also from the girlfriend's perspective, Mary, like she knew that she liked the boyfriend before, and then to have, I mean, imagine if you knew a girl liked me, and then I'm really good friends with her, but yeah, we're just friends, and then we go out to dinner a couple times a year, and then she messages you like, hey, can you like leave us alone while we're together? I think that's not going to go well. I think it's like we talked about earlier is about there's these boundaries that go both ways, that there's boundaries or like, that we need to respect that your boyfriend, yes, has the right and it's healthy for your boyfriend or your significant other to have these relationships with other people like friendships and, coworkers, family, stuff like that. It's I think that's important and it's healthy for your partners to have these relationships.
Yeah.
And then the same other side is that the friends also have to respect that um there's a special bond, or there's also special exemptions that come with significant others. So like I said before, there's that issue where some people feel like, oh, I've been best friends with him for 10 years, so my rank should be like tip top rank. And then all of a sudden this person out of nowhere gets like, premium status, they just met at a bar or whatever,
Silver.
Yeah, it's like, well, how did you get like the express pass to like
Platinum.
priority?
Mhm.
And then, so I think sometimes it's difficult for friends to like handle that shift, like you said, that deprioritization.
But do you think that because she used to have feeling for him, or at least they used to flirt before a bit,
Yeah.
can make it like bother her?
I think it definitely bothers Mary, but even if that wasn't the case,
Oh, right. No. I'm speaking on both sides, right? Because she also mentioned that she admit that like we like each other when we first met and have awkward like crushes and
yeah,
then
so
flirting.
yeah, if anyone asks, so she says before anyone asks, she's saying that the friend, the girl, the poster, and the Zeke, the guy, they used to kind of flirt with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyways, but even not so. Okay, let me ask you this: if I have a friend that used to like me, or maybe we kind of had a little bit of a fling, not even a fling, like we flirted with each other, and you knew that we kind of liked each other, but nothing happened. But then years later, we're like still friends, but it's like I was like, yeah, but that's gone, that's long and gone. Would you be okay with me hanging out with that person?
That's hard. I I completely trust you doing another person. I mean, if it's like
Hypothetical, yeah,
hypothetical,
yeah.
do another person.
Do you know the person? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, if I had a friend, if I had a close friend to me, you would know about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if I'd be 100% okay. Maybe I'm like, okay, you guys can like chat, talk, but I don't know. I really don't know if I'll be like fully 100% advocate for that, like meeting without me.
Okay. Wait. Okay, I just gave her like a real world example so she can like, so you can
No, but
better.
because you didn't have feelings.
Oh, okay.
So it's different. I thought about that person, but
Sure.
you didn't have feelings, so it's different.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
more one-sided, or it isn't,
No, no. It's how you think it. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I mean, in this scenario, they have feeling.
Mm.
They were a bit of like, here and there, not
Yeah.
like physical, but flirting.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay. I guess it's like if you feel like they've liked each other before, there's always that thought of like they can like each other
it
again,
could be.
right?
It could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, okay, if like we already married, maybe I'm like, okay, go, just whatever. Like,
Really? I don't think marriage will
yeah.
change anything
I don't know.
because
Yeah,
people still cheat
I think
on marriages all the
I think
time.
it's hard. I think it's too hard. Yeah, I don't think if I'm married, I totally understand. It's
That's
hard,
okay.
dude. Yeah, it's hard to understand.
Yeah, I think that's okay. I
I
mean,
think if you guys hang out in a big group of friends, fine, go, bye.
yeah.
But if it's like one-on-one, yeah, I think I need to give it a bit of more thoughts.
Honestly, even being a guy and like if I was in Zeke's position, I would be okay.
Like honestly,
Honestly, I'm okay with Mary, to be honest.
if one day you're saying, "Oh, I want to hang out with like," or yeah, but don't you feel weird if like, oh, I still texting with my ex-boyfriend, even though like we're friends and going out and meet just us two?
It depends because like there's one of your exes that like I'm like totally okay with, and then the other one I don't really know that well, but it depends. But going back to this, I mean, like from this specific situation, um, I think I don't really see the problem with Mary, to be honest. Like a couple texts, and maybe from this girl's point of view, she feels like Mary is overwhelming him. But I kind of feel like the friend is gonna always see the girlfriend in kind of like a negative lens because she's kind of like wants Zeke.
Attention.
Yeah, she wants more attention from Zeke.
I think maybe I don't know. Okay, so that's why I'm asking that.
Because it
Maybe
doesn't
that
sound
she
like
feels
Zeke
like
is
she missed the
tortured.
train.
Maybe. Yeah.
Because I'm just thinking that.
But they've been friends for 5 years, so maybe like the first year was like
Yeah, I mean they're friends
yeah.
for 5 years, but now when you see that he's really
like a good boyfriend.
yeah, really good boyfriend, or you can't have.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. And now you just realize that, oh, holy crap. Maybe this is it.
I mean, sometimes the way that she describes him was like, what bothers me the most is I feel like she's insecure and doubting Zeke's loyalty, and he is an amazing, sweet dude who would literally do anything to make her feel loved. I feel like she's like, yeah, I feel like she's kind of like, yeah, man, Zeke is really great.
Did she also mention that he was a bit annoyed, or
I don't think that he said it, but I think she feels like Mary is too much.
I think she should just talk to Zeke. Like, hey, just like taste the water. Like, do you call it right? Like
Taste the water. Test the water.
I'm sorry.
You can taste it too. You can taste the water too.
Test
It's
the
clean.
water and see. Like, just casually bring this topic up, and see like how he feels. If he's fine, then he's fine,
right.
But don't over analyzing it. And I know that you're a best friend and you know him, but yeah, I mean, if he's but if he's towards that direction, maybe you can like add full in a bit.
Okay, I think so. But okay, so we have quite a big thread. There were so we have some thread going with some commenters and the original posters. So we have the first person that says Chili Terrified says, "You would be the asshole. You don't have a Mary problem. You have a Zeke problem. He's your friend. He's the only one whose behavior is impacting you, and it's on him to manage his relationships." That's really good.
I agree.
Well put. And his friendships. If you aren't happy with how he's acting when he's with you, then you have a problem with him, so talk to him. She doesn't owe you anything, and she doesn't have to modify her behavior with her boyfriend to please you, who is a casual friend at best. Ooh. Okay, so what if he, then the next commenter says, so what if he texts her once an hour when they're hanging out? She acts like it's every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
right? I
But
think it's also
honestly,
like
like
one
my
of
first reaction was like, ooh, once an hour. But in reality, I also text you maybe once an hour or 2 hours.
yeah. I think
It's not bad.
honestly,
Just keep updating. Like maybe not updating, but I didn't give you like send you a long text. It's like, hey, we're moving here. But,
mhm.
just like that.
So I think for people that aren't in like very serious relationships, they feel like texting or like updating each other is it sounds like a chore, right? Like I
Mm-hmm.
feel like when we weren't in very serious relationships, we felt like, ew, why people like share locations all the time and updating each other like that's weird, that's so annoying, But I don't know when you're for I don't know for us, and I think there's other relationships that I mean other friends that we have too that are in serious relationships. For them, like it's not about it's not this need of like of reporting to each other. It's like, hey, I want to like send a picture of what I'm eating, or like I want them to know, or like I just want to say like, hey, we're going to go to the tennis court now,
Yeah.
or
So actually, it's become like a recent. We just discussed about it like a few days ago as well. Like, hey, like how can we not track, but what if like something
yeah,
goes wrong, or like what if like, oh, I forgot to message, or like for example, like if I'm like go get my car in the parking building, it was a little bit dark. I just suddenly thought like, what if someone just like attacked me from behind, like knock me out? You wouldn't know. So I think it's just for safety reason, not stalking.
hmm
Yeah.
yeah. I think no, yeah. So we're talking about sharing locations. Just a side topic, real fast. As it comes to like when it comes to more serious relationships, is that or not more serious. I don't want to say like only serious relationships, but there's a difference. Maybe it comes with like a sense of trust too. Like I know that you're not stalking or you're not like tracking me in a sense of like that you don't trust me or like stalking
I
me.
mean,
But it's
because
like
sometimes you would go run
yeah,
at night, right?
mm-hmm,
So I know that I don't want to keep texting you because I don't want you to be looking at your
mm-hmm.
watch, but maybe it keep me sane
You're
at
gonna
night
keep
that,
texting me more
oh,
than every hour.
no. No, but it keep me that, oh, okay, you're moving. You're like
Mm-hmm.
you're moving this direction, that direction.
Yeah,
So I think it's good that we have the visibility, not necessary that, oh, we're gonna check every hours.
right.
Where is he going? Have he leave home yet? No, not like that. Um but for example, if like it happened with me like back then that I'm drinking a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, oh, and I forgot to message you. So at least you know that, oh, she's home, she's
Yeah,
fine. I think it's for more like for
I
us it's more like safety reason.
yeah. I mean, I was totally like I remember a long time ago when you told me about one of your friends. They shared the location with their girlfriend. I was like, whoa, that's too much.
Me too. Yeah,
And I was like,
I'm
whoa,
like,
that's
whoa,
weird. Um,
I don't like that.
but now it's like
Let's
if
just have it.
yeah, I mean, if I had if we can have a superpower and it's like like I want to know where you are, and I think the key thing comes with we know we're not going to abuse that superpower, and it's not kind of like
Superpower.
yeah, like hey, what are you doing at
Can I see
Sephora
this?
again? It's just kind of like if worst case scenario, I want that peace of mind that like I can because something happens like you don't pick up your phone. Yeah, it's working. Yeah. So like yeah. Anyway, so is that quick? But yeah. So I think that. So I think if another say your friend was like talking to you and was like your relationship is weird because you guys text each other all the time and it's kind of like hey it's our relationship.
Yeah, I
It's you
think
got
you
to respect the
have.
boundaries.
I think there's no perfect rules, or I mean, to be a fact that there's no rules.
Hmm.
You create your own. Like, how do you guys want to follow?
Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, but I agree with this comment that
Yeah.
it's seek problem.
Yeah, so okay, so going back to this thread, so the last person said, so what if he texts her once an hour when they're hanging out? She's acting like it's every 5 minutes. And so actually the OP, the original poster chimes in. She says, you're right, it's not every 5 minutes, it's not a huge deal, but it happens every time we hang out. And it's only because I'm a woman. ETA?
Estimate.
Time of arrival? Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Anyways. Also, it bothers me. I think she's just saying like extra comment. Okay. Also, it bothers me because she sees him practically every day, whereas I see him a few hours each year. So if she sends 20 texts and interrupts for our 20 annual hours talking. So if she sends 20 texts and interrupts our 20 annual hours talking, it would kind of ish feel like if I sent over 800 texts for each of the hours I hang out each year. It's not a great way to describe that, but I don't know how else to say it. I mean, okay, this got a lot of downvotes, so a lot of people are disagreeing with her. I mean, it's not 1-to-1. I mean, you're the friend. Another one's the
Dude,
girlfriend.
I'm sorry. I read more comments and then I do agree
You want to
with
read the
those
next one?
comments. Yeah.
Okay, here, the next one.
No, this one first, right? This one
Yeah, this is the next one,
saying,
yeah.
this one said, it's so weird that you're comparing yourself with Mary. Full stop. As his actual girlfriend, Mary has far more leverage and flexibilities to text him. The same doesn't apply to a friend.
I love it.
Oh
I
my
can feel like the
God,
sassiness.
Oh my God, I agree. I totally agree. Okay. The next one is, if you don't like it, end the friendship. At the moment, you are obsessed and he is just not that into you.
Maybe
Oh
maybe
my
there's a reason why
God.
he only sees her like a couple
No,
times a
but
year.
that's, I mean,
Yeah.
that right? That's
Yeah.
how like I
No, I
also
totally
feel
agree.
at the end of that she feels like she missed a train.
Okay, the next one's sassy too. Read this one.
Oh no. How dare he sees his check notes girlfriend every
No.
day.
I think it's, oh no, how dare he sees his check notes girlfriend every day. It's like yeah, so it's being very sassy. So yeah. So the person says, good queen full and chop says, oh no, how dare he sees his check notes girlfriend every day. If you two are only talking 20 hours a year, then honestly, y'all might not be as good of friends as you say you are. This may just be another case of them being your best friend, but you're not his. Yeah. I think it's okay, it's pretty clear on this one.
But I'm just so amazed at the fact that she calculated the hours and the texts.
Yeah, wow. But I mean,
She
look at her name, her OP name. OP's name is like Reddit user 208513211.
she is good at numbers.
She's the entity. So in her original post, she did do an update. So, I mean, credit to her. She said, "Thank you for all the comments. I see clearly now that I absolutely would be the asshole if I talked to Mary about it, and that I may also be the asshole if I talk to Zeke about it." So, I mean, credit where
I think
credit's
she
due.
just wanted to have like sense check
Yeah, which is good. She tasted the waters.
with others.
What? Yeah.
Ew,
So
I'm sorry. No, but okay, can we redo that? Go
no,
back.
it's
Do
fine.
it again.
No, I'm not gonna edit that. So yeah, so so yeah, I think it's pretty clear, and I mean, a good ending. Like the poster actually wasn't combative. She listened to people. So I mean, she's not a horrible person.
She's not. I think
Maybe
she just.
maybe she's just. I mean, she likes Zeke. I think, and
I think so.
maybe one day she can find her own Zeke.
Yeah.
Yeah, and text him every hour.
Or just wait.
Yeah. Poor lady. Anyways, I mean, good for them. I'm happy. I'm happy to see that she like responded positively to that. Okay. Last one. How long have we been going for?
An hour, 11 minutes.
An hour 11 minutes. Maybe that's enough for one episode.
I think so.
I think so too, right? Would I be the asshole if I did one more story?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for joining us for our first episode of You Look Lovely Today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And yeah, please let us know how we did. Leave any questions or comments in the comment section. If you're watching on YouTube, like if you're listening on listening to our podcast, and yeah, share with your friends, and we'll be back soon. Bye.